We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Oh yes, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. A Merry Christmas to you. We wish you. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Yes, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Ah well, hello again. It's the 23rd day of December, 2025. I'm at my home address and it's, well, it's 10:15 in the evening. And I'm just sitting there, well, just sitting doing nothing and thinking. Thinking just about the unusual aspects of Christmas in regards to, well, being rather annoying in some respect. And I'm thinking along the lines of being a very difficult guest with my feet on this table making noises. It's not my stomach. A classic sort of awkward guest, and I was just thinking, like, if you're all seated, particularly if it was your very first time at someone's house, uninvited, sorry, like invited as maybe your partner's parents had said, well, yes, we'll get them to come round and you can have Christmas with us. And so you accept an invitation, you turn up and you bring a customary bottle of wine, something like that, and gifts and hilarity and all the joviality, all the sorts of fakeness that we're all guilty of at some stage in our lives. You know, fake smiles and fake laugh and but deep down they're not even finding it funny. But not sounding miserable, but I'm just starting to think about the atmosphere that is surrounding the Christmas table all set out, and and they don't know that you're a constant, persistent complainer. But by the end of the luncheon, they found that to the detriment that that's all you do, bloody complain. I was thinking, well, I'm thinking on my feet. I don't have it. There's nothing here written down or anything like that. I just sort of, as I speak, this is what my camera does. I just speak as I want. But, part-time handy, get that away, please. The idea of sitting down, you know, and that sort of merriment Well, I mean, I bloody hated it. I never enjoyed, not really, not even as a child. Well, I suppose as a child I didn't mind quite so much. I didn't really, you just joined in, you didn't bother. But certainly as an adult, I fucking hated those paper hats that you got out of a cracker. I absolutely hated those bloody things. I felt that was the last stage of your integrity had been taken away once you listened to someone's idle joke unravelled from the cracker, and everybody sort of, and then, Andrew, where's your hat? Oh, I'm not going to. Oh, put your hat on. Don't be such a grump. Oh, fuck. But you don't say it out loud. You just, oh, all right. And you put it on. And the tension in your stomach, you can still feel it. Because it's something I'm not a people pleaser, you see. Not really. And sometimes at these festive gatherings, you've got to people please just to keep the damn peace. But I really didn't like wearing them, these paper hats. And I certainly, even to this day, I can't stand those bloody things that, those little sort of horns that blow out like a bloody snake. I bloody hate the noise of that. Really irritating. And but what I meant, not so much on a personal basis, much more on an imaginative basis, I was set out to, well, just a moment, I need to make sure that water doesn't get any more hotter in my, I need to switch this handy. Otherwise the bloody tank will blow up. Absolutely. Roasting. I mean, there's nothing I do about it. It's great, but just got to be careful you don't leave it to get too hot. What back to the story, Andy, you fool? Yeah, I'm talking on a sort of hypothetical situation here where you're turning up at someone's house as an invitation and you're all seated and... now, is it Andrew or Andy? Well, Andy's fine. Well, would Andy like a sherry, or would he perhaps like a wine, or even something stronger? No, I'll settle for... I'll tell you what, have you got any port? Oh, yes. Well, give us a glass of port, please. And the first thing you would say is, like, once you're thinking that, after saying thank you and stuff, is raising your glass and then just making that sort of awkward face if something's not agreeable. Is there something wrong? No, it's, well, all right. What kind of port was that, please? It's, Alan, what port did we get? It's a 67. It's a 67 block, oh, some bloody make. Oh well, I think how much did that cost? Ask them directly. That's not the woman speaking. But you ask them directly. How much did that cost you? 42 pounds. Well, you've been bloody ripped off. That's horrible. No, I don't want that. Take that back. Have you got a... I'll just have a sherry then, please. And, yeah, dry sherry, thank you. Gosh, those candles are very, very hot, aren't they? You know, immediately the thing is, bloody hell, what a disruption. What I'm trying to say here is I'm trying to build on it. How you could be such a bloody nuisance. But, so the warmth of the candle is excessive at the table. And I'm just thinking, no, I'm not going through every bloody stage of it, at a table, but perhaps you know, as you're sitting there and you know, and you've gone through your starters and you know, plates are getting cleared away and stuff, and you say to them, "It's a very unusual choice, if you don't mind me saying, grapefruit." Yes, well, we thought it was something different. No, quite often we have, you know, prawns with sauce or something, you know, but we thought we'd go for the grapefruit. Yeah, it's a very 1960s, isn't it? Very 1960s, 70s grapefruit. And the atmosphere just collapses, you know. Or what else, Andy? Oh, it's, would you like some? Would you guess for some soup? After you take, yes, please. Yes. How did you find your soup? Oh, very salty, but apart from that, it was absolutely lovely. It really was. It was lovely homemade soup. It was very salty. I'm sorry for saying so, but it was. Do you have a drink of water, please? Where are you going with this, Andy? I think you're starting to bloody burn out. Well, I'm just trying to make humour of our situation, and this is what I'm saying about sitting and having your own thoughts and your own imagination and all the damn things that can, you know, as best you can go bloody wrong at a dinner table, you know, and I have to say I'm not really a fan. I'll be honest, yeah. I'm not really a fan of eating in front of people. I don't bloody like it. I've never. I mean, I'm talking since I was a very young boy. I might be peculiar in a lot of ways, but I'm not very good at sitting, eating in front of people. I never have been. I've got this sort of. It's not a shyness, but and it's not an insecurity, but it's just a sort of my own decorum, where I prefer to eat out of sight, and I don't like eating in. I don't particularly like eating in restaurants or cafes or anything. I mean, I have, but obviously as I always try and take a quiet corner, not so much my back to the rest of the patrons, but I will try and, I mean, I'm talking since I was as a child at home. I find it very daunting. Well, I suppose, Andy, when you think about it, you went through hundreds and hundreds of different tea times and lunch times and breakfast and all the rest of it, so it wasn't really a problem. No, but I think I must have built up some sort of immunity to it. But I still didn't like it. I really didn't. I liked my own pace, and my own method of eating. I don't like somebody sitting opposite me while I'm eating. And I don't like looking at them eating. I really don't. It's just a strange peculiarity I must possess, but I just don't like it. And no, I found that I'm thinking as well back to this damn dinner table at Christmases and stuff. As a child, I was never a greedy bastard. I really wasn't. I didn't go for huge helpings. I've never been a person who'll, you know, eat until they bloody can't bloody move. But some people do. My mother used to make sure we were all very well fed. And I have to say at Christmas time it was very much over the top. But I was still very conscious. I hardly ate a chip in my life. I didn't like chips. I didn't like anything like that. I was very careful with food. All my life I've been very picky. I wouldn't shun food. I wouldn't say no to food. I wouldn't be rude with food. Meaning that, food is very scarce, and if somebody puts down food in front of you, it is very rude not to eat it. Not at all. It's not something you should do. But what I'm saying is, I would make general excuses around about us. I've actually eaten already. I'm sorry, but I'll try and manage a little. But anyway, but I have to say that sitting there and perhaps at this hypothetical sort of dinner, and Christmas dinner I'm talking about, and your partner's mother comes through with a tray or something, carrying the food, and perhaps it's poultry of some sort, or bloody beef or something, or roasted joint or something like that. And can I just interrupt you? Could you make sure that you don't leave that out for too long? Once it's cooked, there's a higher risk of bacteria in food that's been cooked if it's left out for too long. And you could imagine the atmosphere already at this Christmas table. And I'm basing this on the fact that your partner likes you enough not to bloody throw you out the door for this stage. But what I'm saying is, and it's not been deliberately rude or facetious, it's just making these comments. And for example, is vegetables being served, and I notice you've not topped the Brussels sprouts. By the time it came to bloody Christmas pudding or bloody whatever, trifle or something, or meringues, yes, I don't really want too much. And actually say, no, I think if I had Christmas pudding, I'd be acting like a bloody gannet. It's one of the deadly sins, is no, I don't want. Just give me some peaches, please, and a meringue. Would you like some cream or ice cream? Well, give me a little bit of ice cream, please. Well, I have a little tip here. If you take the ice cream scoop and put it in boiling water first, you find it much easier to do. Well, shut up, Andy. Alan, it's time. Just shut up, man. You're a guest at our house. And can I just say, actually, I'm sorry, but if you find them impertinent, can I just say, the problem you've got with the meringues is that I'm quite sure it's just a simple error. We've all done it. But I think the eggs have not been separated correctly. You know, there's a little bit of yolk there that should not be in the white. Right, and get out of my bloody house. I'm fed up. Well, you get the idea, don't you? Well, I have to say, I must admit, over the years, I've never been that fond of this. Don't take away from all the fun that you've had, Andy, in these sorts of occasions. Now, what I'm trying to say is that there's a great degree of formality which surrounds dinner parties and the likes, but I think a lot of that's been lost. And going into an adult, for example, I was very keen in looking forward to all these sorts of things, but by the time I reached adulthood, most of the old ways had started to fade. I mean, I remember just not so long ago, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, I was in for a drink in one of the bars, and someone says, "You're not your usual cheerful self, Andy." And I says, "Oh," and this is not hypothetically speaking. This is you know, true. No, I saw it, but I'm just still a bit down. I said, "Well, what's the matter with you, Andy?" I went and broke my soup tureen. You broke the soup tureen, yeah. But you live on your own. What are you talking about? Yeah, but everyone still serve the soup out of the soup tureen. And this is what I mean. There's a lot of practices which no longer exist. Napkins and stuff. Everybody should use napkins at lunch or at dinner. But they don't, do they? They just... I don't even know if they use plates anymore. Yeah. Sit round the table and, you know, set the table. I don't know if people still set the table. I do. Set the table. It's a big thing, and it's a great big celebration to sit down and have your meal. Say grace and enjoy the food. You prepared and cooked it properly. Why not? Instead of bloody rushing it. There's people scoffing the bloody food down the throat in 5 minutes. I don't know why they do it. They really do. They seem to. I'm quite sure it's between two programs. The bloody adverts or something. Or there's a stretch. Or there's a news bulletin or something. Quick, get a bloody tea before this bloody next program comes on. And I prefer the old-fashioned ways, Andy. And everything sat down at the table. And fork and knife and plates and always spoon your soup away from you. Yeah? Never use a dessert spoon to eat soup. And likewise for your dessert. Bread and butter. A butter knife. Yes. And a little jug of milk. I mean, everything's all... do people use teapots? I've got a bloody teapot next door. I use it all the time. And most people, if I've gone to the house, say, "Would you like a cup of tea?" And they just stick the bloody bag in the cup. And that's not how you make tea. No. You just stick the boiled water. No, put it on the stove. You're going to let the tea diffuse. Quite let the tea go through the hot water. I hope you put some hot water in the teapot first. No, I just stick it in the cup. So you get a cold cup and you add a tea bag and then you just add the boiling water. No wonder it doesn't taste well. No, Andy. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up in here. I'm going to set up my dinner table in here with my candles and my plates.